What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC 267 Błachowicz versus Teixeira prediction breakdown, guys. Before I get started though, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to my Patreon account, guys. Subscribe to that Patreon account. I believe the last UFC there, the last UFC I believe I went, what was it, 12-1? 12-1-1, because there was a draw. Like I said, guys, sign up to that Patreon account. I drop all my face-off predictions, which the face-off predictions, when I look at the guys, sometimes I look at, the mannerisms, the eyes, how the body look, if they make weight or not, so that I could tell if I made a mistake and one guy that I made a pick in my original pick, so I just go ahead and I change it. I may not change a whole bunch, for the face-off. Maybe in a face-off pick I maybe might change two guys, and there's sometimes I may not change any. So check out the Patreon account for the props. Also got some parlays over there too, and also the face-off predictions. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this card. This is a massive card. It starts at 10:30 in the Eastern Standard Time here, AM. I'm gonna be over there in Abu Dhabi, so it's gonna be an early fight for the people in the Eastern, right? Massive card, man. 14 fights in this card, man. This is a good card, guys. A lot of good matchups here, man. Like every single fight here is good, man. This is a good card, guys. One guy already fell off. Oezdemir fell off, which I wanted to see that fight, but I guess actually Ismailov didn't. Oh man, he missed weight. Really? Then that guy's usually more professional than that. I never really expect him to miss weight though, man. Maybe something was wrong with that. Maybe he was ill or something. But usually that guy comes in on point though. So I just jump into this card, guys, knock this out, and I will be giving you guys also the odd breakdowns too. Okay. First fight here, we got. Also, guys, I'm gonna mispronounce a lot of these names, man, because there's a lot of Russians in this card. It's over there in Abu Dhabi, and a lot of the names are hard to pronounce, so I'm gonna do the best I can. All right. First fight here, we got Tagir Volkov versus Alen Nascimento. All right. Tagir here. This guy doesn't look bad, man. He's pretty well-rounded guy. He uses his reach nicely. I noticed that from his last fight here against Bruno Silva. He uses reach nice. Like I always say, there's some guys that may have that reach, but just don't use it. But this guy, he knows how to use it nicely, man. He will look for the takedowns, and he keeps that jab on you. And his scrambles are also nice, man. I'm very impressed with this guy here, man. This guy's a pretty good fighter. All right, his opponent here, Nascimento, from what I've seen, he was in the Contender Series here against Rulon, if you guys remember that, back in 2018. Hasn't fought until recently, 2021. Nascimento here, kind of ride his chin kind of high. Doesn't move his head off center line at all. He will look for the takedowns, but if he's trying to take down Tagir, I could say Tagir scrambling on him, right? He's flat-footed, slow at the movement, and he will stay in the pocket with you. And at times, his striking movement look kind of sloppy, and even his takedowns. So I mean, for me, man, I'm liking Tagir here. I'm saying, kind of high on Tagir. So I'm gonna go with Tagir for the win here, guys. And I'm gonna say Tagir by a decision, man. And I'm confident in this pick, guys. Okay, I'm confident in this one. All right, so Tagir by decision. Next fight here, we have Yo Zhang-Hu versus Andre Petroski. And there's a couple short notice fights in here too, guys. See a lot of guys here drop off, right? So a couple of short notice here. Supposed to be Allen here, supposed to be fighting you, but Andre Petroski jump in there. So kind of short notice there. But Andre just came off of the not contender series, but the tough Tinder, right? A tough finale here. Which he lost to Ryan Battle there, but then he, got a fight in UFC and he beat Michael Gilmore. With Petroski here, so that's his name. With Petroski here, he has a strong wrestling base there, man, but he will gas out though, man. And from what I see him in his last fight, it looked like he's been working on it. I believe he said that he's working on it. but he can gas though, man. And when he gas, he can get knocked out, right? But like I said, he's been working on it. But his wrestling base is strong though. He would shoot, take you down, single double leg you, and put you on the ground and ground and pound, right? His opponent here, Yu hasn't fought since 2018, man. He hasn't fought, and he lost to Rashad Cutler. That's his last fight there. 2018, he hasn't fought. That's a while ago, man. Like Dominic Cruz says, right, that, you know, there's nothing as rusty. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it all depends on the person though still. You know what I'm saying? It depends on if the person has that skill set to where they don't get rusty. Right? I mean, if you're not a skill fighter and you're taking so much moments off or time off, you may not perform good if you haven't been performing good in the beginning. Right? So this guy taking time off like this, it doesn't make any sense to me. With Hugh here, like I said, he hasn't fought since 2018. Reading from notes, guys, he's not active. He has potential, though, man. I mean, I see how he mix up his striking, leg kicks, his boxing. He has potential, but he will also gas out, and he's also hittable, and he can get taken down. Against Sarex here, he got taken down a lot of times until he got rear naked choke, right? So for this fight here, guys, I mean, this one here, man, to be honest with you, just be careful with it. Because both guys 6-1, you know what I'm saying, it's 3-2. This is not a fight that you really want to put too much into a parlay at all, man, right? So be careful with this one, and you could even fade it. Now, if you want to parlay, you can parlay it. It's all up to what you want to do. But I'm going to say Petr here by KO, guys, in the second round. All right? So Andre for the win, second round KO. Next fight here, we got Makwan Americani versus Leron Murphy. Leron. Makwan here. Strong wrestling base. But you see the thing about Makwan here, man. Wrestling is good, but I feel like he can be kind of one-dimensional in a kind of way. He's been working on it though, and his striking has been getting a little better, but he's still one-dimensional, right? And he's predictable, right? He will shoot for takedown, then sometimes he doesn't get it, and depending on the opponent, then he will get it, and then he will get his submission, because he's looking to submit you, right? He will also gas out after the first round, and every fight is kind of the same thing. The Edson Barboza, same thing. The Kamaral Kirk, the same thing. Now, if he's able to can get you down real quick now in the first round and then get a submission, and it's different. It just all depends on the opponent he's fighting, right? Can he do that with Murphy? It's a possibility, you know what I mean? It's a strong possibility. Again, over there in Abu Dhabi, you know, a lot of these guys, you know, who are Muslim and from Russia, if it goes to the scorecard, they could get the decision, man. You understand? It's a possibility they could get the decision, man. Or if they're known over there in Abu Dhabi. If they're known in Abu Dhabi, they could get the decision. That's just how it goes, man. That goes for, you know, that goes for any sport. You know what I'm saying? If you're a favorite in a certain part of the world or a country, right? They're going to favor you with the win. If it's real close, they're going to slide you a split, right? So this card, you be careful, because you could see a lot of the Russian guys coming in winning, man. I'm just being honest with you, right? If it goes to the judges. So, like I said with Makwan here, man, I mean, he will gas out and he will look for submission. And if he's going to get the submission on Murphy, most likely it's going to be in the first round. If this fight goes out of the first round and he doesn't submit Murphy, he's going to have a hard time, because Murphy is a pretty freaking good fighter. And Murphy, again, is taking this fight on short notice in Abu Dhabi. The last time he did that too, in Abu Dhabi. Let's check out Murphy here. Murphy really impressed me, man. I'm really impressed with Murphy here. Very well-rounded guy. Strong striking base there. Went to a draw there with Zababi. Is it? With Zabari, right? Yeah, went to a draw with Zabari, right? Actually, split draw, right? So this is a guy here that really friggin' impressed me, man. Yeah, this guy is very, very skilled, very athletic guy, man. And his ground game is getting better, and his striking is on point. Right, I felt that he won that fight against Zubaira, though. You know what I'm saying? I felt that, you know, he should have got the split decision win, but he went to a draw because they were trying, you know what I'm saying, short notice, and then Zubaira, you know, he go in there and lose. You know, it looks kind of bad. That is what I tell you. If it gets real close, they could possibly draw the fight or make it a split, and it goes towards the favorite who's in that part of town, like is going to be over here in Abu Dhabi, right? Like I said here, this is a short notice for Murphy also. So this is his second short notice fight here. So let me see here. Also with Maroccan here, he would gas out, man, and like I said, he would gas out from those getting takedown, right? He keeps forcing it and keep forcing takedowns, and it depends on the person. He will get it like what I was saying, right? I'm not confident in this pick, guys, because, as I said, Murphy is a very good fighter, man, and this guy is going to be a hard guy to compete against. I guess whoever's going to compete with him, I mean, he's not an easy guy to beat, man. This guy is well-rounded, and he's on point. He's physically strong and athletic, and he has freaking skills, and he's durable. And Mach 1 striking is not on the level of Murphy at all. There's no way he's going to outstrike Murphy. Ground game, if he keeps shooting, maybe, but I doubt it, man. So I'm liking Murphy for this, guys. And I must say, Murphy by KO TKO in the first round, but I'm not confident. And the reason why I say I'm not confident, because over there in Abu Dhabi, and it's a short notice, and Mach 1, you never know. He could shoot in there and get a first round submission. It's possible. Or he can go to a decision and Mach 1 win, which I don't really see that happening. If this fight gets out of the first round, Murphy going to win the fight. If Mach 1 doesn't get that submission in the first, Murphy going to win. So I'm liking Murphy by KO TKO, guys, in the first round. Next fight here, we got Michał Oleksiejczuk versus Samuel Khamzat. Man, I know I mispronounce all these names, man, but it's all good. Michał here. Michał stays on you, man. Pack raw power there, but he also will gas out. And sometimes he swings kind of wild at times, and that's when he gets himself out. Because if you're swinging and you ain't hit nothing, you're just burning energy, right? Waste of energy. Against Modesta here, he put up a little fight there, got the split decision in that one. He doesn't really pack that power like he used to, right? Like, I'm not really seeing that from him, like how he was doing here back with Gen Vellante and Ankalaev, right? Even with Kelal Aranchi, he was landing some shots there. His opponent here, Samuel Khamzat, or Khamzat. Samuel here, he stays in the pocket, man. He's going to be the slower fighter, but like I said, guys, watch a lot of fights in these guys, because sometimes you see them fight in one organization and they look different in another organization. Against Abreu here, with Abreu, he looked slow in this fight, like he didn't train. Like, he looked out of shape. And his last fight was in 2019, so that's something to look at here too, man. But he's durable, though. He can take a hit and keep coming forward. He's pretty well rounded. And he favors a stand-up, but he will also drop for a single and then take you down and look for submission. That hasn't fought since 2019. Like I said, man, when I watch different footages of different fights and I watch different organization of these guys, they look different. Like, when he's in the PFL, it looks totally different than when he was in the UFC from his last fight here. He seems more quicker. Maybe he wasn't in shape. Maybe he probably come in shape. But if he fights the way how he fights in like in WSOF and in PFL, if he comes in there and fight like that, he should be able to beat Michał, man. I mean, when he lets his hands go, he got pack power and he's accurate, and he mixes up the kicks with the punches, and he will even look for takedown, and he's durable, man. So I'm liking Samuel for this, and I must say Samuel by decision, guys, but I'm not confident because he hasn't fought since 2019, and Michał pack power, man, and they're gonna be in phone book kind of style. They're gonna be facing each other. So it just takes one punch. But like I said, Samuel can take a hit though. Alright, so Samuel by decision, guy, not confident. Next fight here, we got Elizeu Zaleski versus Benoît Denis. Zaleski here, or Zaleski, I mispronounced that too. He's going to be the more experienced guy here. BJJ black belt, capoeira, well-rounded. Almost got submitted though in by a guy named Luigi. And Luigi's making his debut. The reason why I brought that up here, this fight here, almost got choked out in that fight. Right in the first round by a rear naked choke. Reason why I mentioned that, because his opponent here is going to be Benoît. And Benoît has submission game, right? He has a good amount of submission here. Nearly, I think all his fights are by submission. The reason why I mentioned that because there's times when Zaleski, he will start off kind of slow, and if Bennett come in there and then shoot across, can get a takedown, it could be a similar fashion there where he gets caught in a submission. And this guy, even though it's 8-0, making his debut, has 7 by submission. So this fight here, you gotta be careful with it, guys. I'm liking Santos for the win here, but just from the experience, and Bennett is making his debut here. And but like I said, with Denis, he looks good. His submission game looks good. Got 7 by submission. Striking, so. He would throw the hands, but he's mostly throwing kicks and punches to go for takedowns. He's looking to use the striking to get the takedowns, right? With Santos here, Santos is a heavy hitter. Spinning heel kicks, his punches, he actually looked very good against Muslim Sharkov. Even though I went to a split and Muslim won it, he looked good in that fight, man. Very, very impressed with Santos here. But like I said, when guys making a debut, man, you just don't know. 8-0 guy, you just don't know, man. The guy could come in there and pull off a quick submission. You know what I'm saying? And Santos been submitted twice, so that's what I'm telling you. I have Santos winning just from this experience. I feel Santos is the better fighter, but anything is possible, guys. Anything can happen in this game. So I'm going for Santos here for the win, and I'm gonna say Santos by KO TKO, guys, in the second round, but I'm not confident. All right, Zaleski. Next fighter, we got Albert Duraev versus Roman Kopylov. Albert here, he would push the wrestling, man. The wrestling is his thing, right? We'll look for the submissions. That's more his thing. His striking is kind of suspect though, but he will still throw the hands and still come forward and go for the double single legs and take it down and look for the submission, right? Let me see. He was in the Contender Series, fought Bittencourt here and pulled off a quick neck crank there. His opponent here, Roman. Roman hasn't fought since 2019, man, after his loss here to Robinson, right? He got actually submitted by rear naked choke in that fight. And prior to that, Kopylov was like supposedly a top fighter. I actually had him beating Robertson. I'm saying? He was coming in here as a good prospect. I'm saying? Striking, not much. His ground game is kind of suspect, but his striking is his thing, right? And that's the issue with this fight here. He wants to strike. Going to be the better striker, but his ground is suspect though, and he can get submitted, and that's the issue in this fight. If he's able to land a punch on Albert, then he can get the win, and that's the thing. This is kind of like a striker versus wrestler, or grappler versus striker, if you want to say. He has 7 by KO, TK has none by submission. You look at Albert, a majority of Albert wins by submission, got 9 by submission, 3 by KO, and then Albert been knocked out 3 times. So that's what I'm telling you. This is a fight where they may be favoring Albert here, but he shouldn't be a huge favorite in this because he could go either way. If Roman come in here and learn from his loss against Robinson and then keep a distance and sprawl on Albert and stop the takedowns, then Albert can be in massive problems. If Albert cannot take down Roman, then Albert gonna lose his fight. Believe me. Albert can't stand with Roman when it comes to a stand-up match. I feel Roman is just more technical striker. So this fight here should be an even fight, man, in my opinion. So be careful with this one, guys. It can go either way. I'm going to go with Albert for the win by submission, guys, in the second round, and I'm not confident, and it should be an even fight, guys. Okay. Next fighter, we got Zubaira Tukhugov versus Ricardo Ramos. This is the next close one here, guys. Zubaira here, he will mix it up, man. You will look to want to strike more. Let me see here. He will look for the ground, and the rest of you depending on the opponent. He will also gas out in that second round, right? So Zubaira here, I believe he lost to Hakeem here, which went to a split decision because again, he got tired in the second, and he came in the third round and just backpedaling and didn't want to engage. Right, so this is a guy where he will push hard first, a little bit in the second, and then gas out. You know what I'm saying? His opponent here, Ramos, Ricardo Ramos is going to have the 4-inch of reach here, which is massive. He's well-rounded and will look for the submission. Will also gas out too, and he will break under pressure. That's one thing about Ramos, man. He will break under pressure, man. And we saw that with Leron Murphy. He will dependent on the opponent. So if Zubaira come in here and push the fight for a second and push hard, then he could break Ramos, and that's the thing that I'm looking at. Ramos don't do too well under pressure, man. So I'm gonna go with Zubaira here for the win. I'm gonna say Zubaira by decision, guys. But I mean, can he finish Ramos? It's possible, but I can see him just pushing the pace, and Ramos probably just holding on holding as long as he can. But if you look at the fights from Ramos, though, all his loses are just by finishes. He usually loses by rear naked, loses body shot. Every fight he always loses. He usually get knocked out or submitted. So I may change that one, guys. I may change the finish on that one. I think Zubaira could finish him if he puts that pace on him. 7 by KOs. He has 11 by decision. So these guys are more decision guys, and I mean he doesn't really push the pace that much. Kevin Aguilera got knocked out by punches. I'm gonna say Zubaira. I'm gonna say Zubaira by I had it here decision, but just from really looking over things, he's gonna have to finish Ramos here, and Ramos would break. I'm gonna say Zubaira by. I'm gonna say Zubaira by first round finish here, guys. First round by KO TKO. Yeah, so I'm gonna say first round by Zubaira by KO TKO. Okay. And if Ramos win, is going to be by decision. So we have Zubaira here by KO TKO in the first. Okay. Next fight here, guys. We have Amanda Ribas versus Virna Jandiroba. Ribas here is going to have a 2-inch reach, which is massive. BJJ black belt. The only thing about Ribas here, she doesn't do good against strikers, and that's obvious to see. Against Marina Rodriguez, took her down the first round, won the first round, came into the second round and get caught. Same thing with Paulina Viviano. Same thing, finishing the first round. Alright? Anybody that has reach on her and hit her with jabs and can mix up the striking and can stop takedowns a little bit and get back to the foot, she gonna have a problem with them. Virna, on the other hand, BJJ black belt also, she will let her hands go, but the striking is not on that level. She's more BJJ. Similar to Ribas, I would say Ribas probably have the better striking. But she will look for takedowns, but again, Ribas is good on the ground. And then Ribas also has a 2-inch reach. So for this fight here, guys, I mean, I'm not confident in this one, and this one could go either way, but I'm liking Ribas for this one because Virna doesn't really pack that punch, and she doesn't really strike like that. So this is going to be more of a ground game, probably. And Ribas is pretty good on the ground also, coming from American top team. So I'm gonna go with Ribas here, guys. I'm gonna say Ribas by decision, not confident. All right. Next fight here, guys. We have Magomed Ankalaev versus Volkan Oezdemir. Magomed here is a well-rounded guy, can take this fight anywhere, got raw power, technical striking, got ground game. Just as long as he's not fighting Paul Craig, then he's fine. And as long as he doesn't just go to the ground, just give his neck. I mean, it happens though, right? His opponent here, Volkan, though, Volkan can get taken down. Heavy striking, raw power too. Have more a kickboxing kind of vibe there. He's been working on his ground game and has been getting better, right? Lost his fight against Jerry, got an overhand in the second round. Problem with this fight here, Magomed is a very technical guy and is pinpoint accurate. And Volkan has raw power, and Volkan will throw the overhands. But when you see Volkan against very technical guys who will shoot the jab and can move around and go for takedowns, he doesn't do too well. And I'm liking Magomed for this one. I'm not confident though because Volkan pack raw power. So anything is possible, man. 205ers, Volkan, you can hit, throw the overhand, and Magomed come in there and get caught. happens, man. So you can't be confident in that. So this should be a close fight. So I must say KO TKO by Magomed, and like I said, you know, most likely he's going to be the favorite, which he should be, but shouldn't be so high. So Magomed by KO TKO in the first round, not confident. Next fight, we got Jingliang versus Khamzat Chimaev. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Lee here, heavy hitter, well-rounded, durable. He's going to be the more experienced guy here. This is going to be the most experienced guy that Khamzat have ever fought, right? Lee would look for the counters here. Lee can get taken down to and grind it out. Remember that. So that's the thing. His opponent here, Khamzat. Khamzat looks good, man. His striking looks good. He looks very well rounded, man. I mean, I'm not going. I mean, you can't deny the guy's skill. I mean, the guy has the skills, man. Very technical guy, but in my opinion, he hasn't really fought nobody really. I mean, John Phillips, he's fighting one-dimension guys. He's fighting all one-dimensional guys. John Phillips is one-dimensional. He can't stop takedowns. Ribas McKee is kind of like that. Doesn't really stop takedowns, right? And Joel Merchant doesn't really have no striking. You see what I'm saying? His striking is there, but he's hittable, right? So these guys are kind of one-dimensional. Jingliang is more, he can stop takedowns and he can strike. He's a little bit more well-rounded than all three of these guys here, right? Not taking anything away from Khamzat, like I said. Khamzat is a very good fighter, man, and I mean, he shows it, but it's just the experience. Right, and who has he been fighting? His last fight was against Gerald Merchant back in 2020, and back in 2020, I guess when the whole pandemic or whatever was going on, I believe he got sick or something like that. I really claim he got sick and he was going to retire or something like that. So we don't know what's going on with that. We haven't seen him since then, and Jingliang been looking good, right? I can guarantee that the odds and Khamzat is going to be very high. I can guarantee you on that, right? Jingliang came off a win against Santiago Ponzinoble by left hook counter. Lee will counter you coming in, right? Can't sleep on Lee, man. Can't sleep on Lee. This guy's experience is more experienced than Khamzat. Remember that, guys. Don't fall for the illusions, you know. As I said, Khamzat, he's good. I mean, don't get me wrong, but he ain't really fighting nobody, right? Lee has fought people and has the experience. Can Khamzat come in here and then beat Lee real quick? Oh, of course, that's definitely. And if he does, then I won't be surprised. But I also won't be surprised if Jingliang beat him too, right? So for this one here, guys, for those reasons, man, let me break down Khamzat here. I don't really break him down too much. Khamzat here is well-rounded, but I don't feel like he has really been tested yet, right? He can get the takedowns and he can take this fight anywhere, which that could be the edge for him here, is going for double single legs on Lee, because sometimes Lee will get takedown, but Lee will scramble back up, and Lee's durable and Lee will keep fighting because of that experience. He's not just going to lay down there, right? Like I said, Khamzat can take this fight anywhere, a lot of forward pressure, and he's going to have the 3-inch of reach, which is massive in this fight, right? I'm liking Lee here, guys. I mean, like I always say, experience goes a long way, and Khamzat, we haven't seen him since 2020, and like I said, there was rumors or stories that he was sick or something like that, and he was going to retire and all these things, so I don't know how he's going to look, you know what I'm saying, in this fight against Jingliang, who's a very experienced guy. It's not like Jingliang is just like, you know, like making his debut, and we don't, you know what I'm saying, this guy has a ton of fights. He faced a lot of people, and he faced a lot of good guys too. He's been in the UFC for a while, and he has experience. So I'm going with Jingliang here, guys. I'm going to say Jingliang by KO TKO, guys, in the 3rd round. And this fight here is it's only a 3-round fight, but I'm going to say Jingliang by KO TKO, guys, in the 3rd. I could be wrong about that, and like I said, this is a fight where most likely Khamzat may probably win this fight. It's only a 3-round fight. He may come in here and just push a high pace and, like, you know, just show that he's, you know, that he's not a joke, you know, that he comes to win. You know what I'm saying? And then all his wins wasn't like a fluke or whatever you want to say, and then he can be the very experienced guy, because this is going to be the most experienced guy that he has ever faced. So like I said, he's supposed to can win, but I feel like Lee's going to be the underdog. I feel like Lee could get a win in here. So I'm going to go Lee by KO TKO, guys, in the third. And I could be wrong, so be careful with this one because Khamzat most likely could pull off a win. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know that. Okay, but Lee by KO TKO, third round. Andrei Volkov versus Marcin Tybura. Volkov's going to have a 3-inch of reach here. Very well-rounded guy, but he can get taken down, though. And his striking can get slow at times, and he will gas out in the later rounds. But this is only going to be a 3-round fight. So, you know, in 5-round fights, he will gas out, man. Like his fight against Sarik's Gain. He was gassing out almost after the 3rd round, right? He's going to have the reach of Tybura, though, right? Tybura is well-rounded. He would push the takedowns because that's more like his thing, but he will also strike with you, but I don't think he's going to strike with Volkov too much because Volkov's going to have the 3-inch reach over him. Like I said, he's going to more look to take this fight to the ground. I feel Volkov could stay on the outside and use his jab on Tybura here, man, and win this fight. I mean, that is what I'm seeing. I see him Volkov staying on the outside, popping the jab, keeping the fight long range, and probably can even get a knockout in this fight. Like I said, Marcin Tybura could shoot and get a takedown. That's very possible. It's a strong possibility there. But striking-wise, I don't see Tybura really hanging with Volkov in the striking. So he's going to have to take this fight to the ground, but he has to close the distance, though. And Volkov reach, he knows how to use his reach, man. The distancing, he knows how to use that. Right? So if he comes in this fight, stay long, pop the jab, you should throw that front kick up the pocket, throw that Gary up the pocket, throw that Mwashi Gary, and then possibly can get a win in this fight. I'm going Volkov here for the win, guys. I'm going to say Volkov by KO TKO in the 2nd round, and I'm not confident. All right. Next fighter, we got Islam Makhachev versus Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker, short notice there, supposed to be Rafael dos Santos. Okay. Islam Makhachev, man, this guy is freaking well-rounded, dude. I mean, he can take this fight anywhere. Aggressive pressure, he keep the pressure on you, and he would definitely look for the submission, man. This guy is basically maybe the closest to Khabib. Maybe the closest to Khabib you're gonna find. So this guy is like maybe like a, you know, I'm saying, like a mirror image of Khabib. I mean, if you want to say that. Like I said, Khabib is Khabib, but this guy is pretty close to him, man. And he only lost to Martins here, which is way back in 2015. Can Dan Hooker beat him? Yeah, I mean, it's possible if he can stay long and keep Islam off of him. Yeah, he's gonna have to use footwork and use his reach in this fight. Hooker is pretty well-rounded guy here. He can take this fight to the ground also, but there wouldn't be no reason to take down Islam in this fight because Islam is gonna look to take him down. He can get taken down, and he will look for the KO, TKO, or the submission, and he's going to have the 5-inch reach. So, like what I was saying, he's going to have to use his reach in this fight if he wants to win this fight. He has to keep Islam on the end of his punches and avoid getting taken down. Can he do that? That's the thing. Can he do that? I don't know, man. I don't really think so. A short notice, I don't know. I mean, Islam just grab a hold of his ankle. It's over. I mean, Hooker could put up a guillotine choke, maybe. I mean, Islam been knocked up before. Maybe he could shoot and get caught by a knee. I mean, we look at Hooker, you know, he fights nice long. I mean, he has good techniques from long range, his knees, his elbows. So, and like I said, Islam been knocked out in the 1st round by punch. So, anything is possible in this fight game, guys. But I'm liking Islam, though, guys. And I must say Islam by submission in the 1st round, and that's a confident play, guys. Okay, so that's 2 confidence I gave you already. Okay. Anything is possible, so be careful, guys. Because Hooker could surprise you, or there could be a lot of surprises on this card. Next fight here, which is going to be for the interim championship belt, right? We got Petr Yan, which I know is Petr Yan, but I must say Petr Yan, man. My boy Petr Yan in the house versus Cory Sandhagen. This is a good fight, guys. All the fights in this card is pretty good, but Petr Yan and Sandhagen gonna be an excellent fight. Jan is a very elite fighter, man. That guy's a top fighter, dude. Well-rounded, good martial arts. He's a good fighter. Can take this fight anywhere. Got good boxing, got good takedowns, scrambles, wrestling, movement. He keep that pressure on you. He will cut you off and stay on you, and he will break you. He will put that pressure on you and break you, and he will cut you off the cage. Some people like to follow the guy, just keep follow. He will cut you off and work the body and take you out in the fight. This guy looked to finish him, man, and he's a good freaking fighter, and he's durable. He can get flash knockout though, or flash knockdowns, but he recover quickly though. All right. His opponent here, which is also a short notice, is Cory. He was supposed to be Aljamain Sterling was supposed to go get the rematch because of the illegal knee. So Jan is coming in here motivated, man, because he's probably like, you know what, man, I'm going to come in here and then beat Cory and then go get back my belt. With Cory here, man, Cory's going to have the 3-inch of reach and the 4-inch of height, which is massive. Cory's also a good fighter, got good footwork, his movement is very nice, and he will counter you coming in. Jan is good on cutting you off, though, cutting the cage off. So Cory will look more for the opening to land his shot. But like I said, Jan is just a freaking good fighter, man. And he's going to be motivated, like what I said, because of Aljamain Sterling. He got caught with that legal shot and he lost his belt and everything like that. Cory is massive for this weight class. So for the 135, that's why his reach is so long, and his height is 5'11". He's tall and massive for this weight class. Cory fades though, and we see that against TJ Dillashaw, because Cory never fought a 5-round fight until he fought TJ. I mean, I could be wrong. I think I'm right about that. So that's his first 5-round fight, and we see him fading in the third. He can't fade with Jan. If you fade with Peter Yan gonna put it on him, man. Because the TJ Dillashaw was doing his own thing in there, and the split decision here, I felt Cory actually should have got the split for that, because Cory did way more damage than TJ. The whole of TJ face was destroyed. And you look at Cory, there was barely any hits on Cory. But again, you can look at the takedowns though, because TJ probably was taking him down and so forth. So maybe TJ was controlling the cage a little bit more. The octagon control and getting the takedown, so all those add up. Because the person that was going mostly backward is Cory, but Cory fights going backwards because he looks to counter you. So he can't get tired against Jan, man. If he gets tired against Jan is going to finish him. Jan is going to put him out, because Jan will go straight forward and then let the hands go. So I'm actually liking Jan here, guys, and I must say Jan by 3rd round KO TKO. Peter Yan by KO TKO. Don't sleep on Cory, because Cory's a very good fighter, and if Jan just comes in here and keep flying in forward, he can get countered. This is the tricky thing about this fight, because Cory is a counter fighter, and he can corner him with a knee, corner him going backwards with a punch, maybe catch him with a spinning heel. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? And then that could be it. It could be a strange thing. And then I guess Cory will be fighting Aljamain Sterling again, which Aljamain Sterling beat Cory by a submission. And that would suck. That would really suck. And Peter Yan would probably be really pissed off if that happened. So I feel Peter Yan is going to be very careful in this fight. Not too careful, because you don't want to be super careful, because if you're too careful, then that's when you get caught. But he's going to come in here and he's going to make a statement. But also, he's going to protect that chin. So I'm liking Peter Yan. I'm going to say Peter Yan, which I told you guys, by KO TKO in the 3rd round. Next fight here, we have Jan Błachowicz versus Glover Teixeira, which is the main fight in the card here, which is a very good main event here. Both guys are very skilled. I told you, this entire card is stacked with very skilled guys. Even the preliminary fights, the early fights, there's a lot of skilled guys, man. Jan Błachowicz here. Jan is well-rounded, man. He can take this fight anywhere. Very aggressive forward pressure, BJJ black belt. He's a heavy hitter. He has raw freaking power. When he swings and he connects, you go down. So this is a fight where, Glover Teixeira has to be very, very freaking careful of his chin. And we know Glover Teixeira to get flash knockdowns a lot. And it's usually happening where? In the 1st round. He usually gets hit and hurt, but then he freaking recovers and he comes back and wins the fight, man. I mean, the guy is relentless. He's durable. and he's not going to give up, and he got hot. Glover Teixeira here is pretty well-rounded guy, man. Can take this fight anywhere too. BJJ black belt also, and he will take you down and he will submit you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he can get a hurt, get flash knockdowns, but he has the heart, and he's super motivated. Age is a number, but he's super motivated, dude. Actually, he's the same age as me, actually. He's super motivated, and I feel that motivation, man, that heart is gonna win him this fight. He will not lose this fight. He's gonna come in here and he's gonna push. Even if Jan hit him with a punch and knock him down, just as long as the referee don't stop it. I feel the Glover Teixeira is going to recover and pull off the win here. The person to gas in this fight is going to be John Volkov. Glover Teixeira has a freaking crazy chin and freaking crazy endurance, and he's going to keep pushing. I'm liking Teixeira here, guys. And I'm going to say Glover Teixeira by a second round submission, guys. And I could be wrong because, like I said, Jean, if he come in here and let the hands go, raw power, and Glover get caught, and he's just out, then he's out. There's a first round knockout. That's why this fight here is a crazy freaking fight. It's a crazy fight, guys. It can go either way, but I'm liking Teixeira, like I said, a submission second round. Quick look at the odds here, guys, and I'm not confident. See what we're working with here, guys. See what we're working with. What are we working with here? Crazy odds, huh? Tajir, 390 all the way across. I'm liking Tajir for this win, and I'm kind of high on him. But I see from Nascimento, I'm not impressed. I feel Tajir should win this fight. He keeps the fight long. His ground game is good. And he fights long. He uses a jab. And he knows how to use the jab on this fight. And he sets up. His scrambles are good. So odds being this high, I don't disagree, but still be careful. I wouldn't parlay him in too much, but he should win, okay? Andre Petrosky and Hugh, I totally disagree in this fight. No, Hugh hasn't fought in a while, and like I said, Hugh has potential, but Andre will gas out, and he's coming from the tough show, and both guys are just, they're not that experienced, man. So Andre being freaking negative 240 or all these things there, I disagree. I would put Andre a little lower, way lower, maybe close to even, maybe like a 140 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But not 200, because Hugh could come in here, and if you land a punch or a kick first round, he could knock out Andre, and then he get the win, right? But I feel Andre's supposed to could win though, but I disagree with the odds, all right? Lauren Murphy and Makwan Americani. Wow, they're high on Murphy, which they should be. I mean, Murphy's a pretty good fighter, man, and he showed it day in and day out, time after time. He showed that he's a good fighter. Do I disagree with the odds though? Honestly, not really, man. I mean, I feel Americani, he's gonna need a submission real quick, and he has to get it in the first round. Can he get it? We saw against Barboza, he couldn't do it. You know, and other guys, he just unable to do it. Really get it this time around? It's hard to say. So the odds on Murphy's not really off, really. I mean, let's be honest with you. Murphy's a more well-rounded fighter here, and Murphy's a better fighter in my opinion. So he's a more durable, more skilled guy, the more athletic guy. I don't disagree, guys, but still be careful with it, because anything is possible. And if Americani can come in here and snap on a submission in the first round, maybe heel hook or knee bar or something, or arm bar, or even a rear naked choke, it happens, man. We see this all the time when guys are so high, and they're high on the guys at that. But Murphy, I said, is a very good fighter, and he's supposed to can win this fight. So I don't disagree, but be careful, all right? Shamel and Michael, I'm surprised this fight is very close like this. I don't disagree, but I feel Shamel should win this fight, but I can see why it's kind of close, because Shamel hasn't fought since 2019, and from his last performance, he really looked too good, right? But in other organization, he looks very good though. So I don't disagree with the odds in here, and it's a very close fight, okay? I have Shamel winning though, okay? Denis and Santos. Santos 200 straight across. I don't disagree with this. I don't disagree with this one. I feel Santos is the more well-rounded fighter. He's a more experienced guy here. But like I told you with Santos, you know, with Denis is known for the ground, and we saw Santos with a debut fighter there, and he almost got submitted. So be careful with this one. That is a possibility, because Denis probably saw that fight too and say, oh, I can do the same thing and get a rear naked choke. But this time I'm going to lock it in and win the fight. So I don't disagree with the odds for Santos, because Santos is supposed to win, but there's always a submission chance there. Be very careful, okay? Albert and Roman. They're high on Albert, which I totally disagree, because if Roman come in here and make some adjustments, which he look like he can, then Albert being problem if Albert can't take down Roman. So the odds on Albert, I disagree on this fight. This fight is an even fight, guys. Be careful with Albert and Roman fight. I disagree. Ramos and Zubaira. Zubaira here is favorite. Not really such a high favorite. He's supposed he can win this fight. I feel he can win this fight. Yeah, I mean, 160 some sides, 157. Yeah, I don't really disagree with the odds on here, guys. He's supposed he can win this fight, but still be careful though. You know, because Zubaira will drop the ball, and then he usually trying to get split decisions or just don't fight. So be very careful. Ribas and Virna. Ribas is 158, 165 straight across. I don't really disagree with this too much, because with Virna, she's not, you know, she doesn't really possess that striking that will give Ribas problems, and Ribas is known to struggle with, you know, with top level strikers, with good strikers, and I feel Ribas is a better striker and she has a grown game, so Ribas should edge the victory here, so I don't disagree with the odds. Magomed and Volkan. Magomed is 300 and something. That's freaking high as hell. But he's supposed to can win this fight though. I mean, if Volkan can land that one punch, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? If you look at Volkan, he's not really a bad fighter, but there's holes in his game though. So that's why the odds in Magomed is so high. Do I disagree? Not really, but I still be careful. I do feel Magomed should win this fight, but I still be careful though. Khamzat, exactly, and Jingliang. Khamzat is freaking high as hell, dude. That's freaking ridiculous. That's ridiculous, dude. I remember I told you, when you're looking at fights and the guy is well-rounded and experienced, you can't have the other guy so high when he hasn't even fought an experienced guy like Lee before. Just doesn't make any sense. No, Khamzat is 600 and something, man, and Lee is a very freaking good fighter, man. Lee is more experienced than Khamzat. He has more experience than Khamzat. Experience goes a long way. This is crazy. I disagree with the odds. This fight should be it's either an even fight or the favorite should be slightly Lee, in my opinion. Again, Khamzat could come in here and then live up to the 600 and pull off the win real quick in the first round like he usually does. But Lee is a different fighter, man, and I disagree. I actually have Lee winning. Again, Khamzat could win the fight, guys, and he's supposed to can win. That's why the odds on him is so high, because they're looking for him to come in here and then get a quick win over Lee, like he does everybody else. But Lee's a different fighter. He's a more experienced guy, and he's more well-rounded. The other guys were more one-dimensional. Alright, I disagree with the odds in this one, guys. Be very careful. Volkov and Marcin Tybura. Volkov 300, should have crossed. Do I disagree with that? Slightly, because Tybura is not a bad fighter and he can look for takedowns. And Volkov can get taken down and Tybura can still throw the hands. I disagree with the odds on here. It should be more closer. If it's not even an even fight, close to even, I will have Volkov winning it maybe by like 150, but not Volkov at 300, because Tybura is on a winning streak too and it doesn't look bad. Actually, Volkov lost his last fight. I look at Tybura is on a 5-fight winning streak. So, I mean, you have to look at the fights as the guys that they're matching up with are not bad fighters, man. So the odds on the other guys shouldn't be so high. It doesn't. So I disagree with the odds in this one, guys. Be careful with it. Don Hooker and Islam. Islam is 590 straight across, 600. Short notice for Hooker. Can Hooker get a win here? It's possible, but Islam, like I said, is kind of like a Khabib. If you want to find a mirror image of Khabib, it's going to be Islam Makhachev. So that being said, I mean, 500, 600, I really don't disagree with it, but I wouldn't parlay him in too much parlays, because anything is possible, and Islam been knocked out before. Hooker just needs to time something. Time him coming in, hit him with a knee, you just never know, right? Peter Yan and Cory Sandhagen. Peter Yan is 220. Okay, so the odds on Peter Yan is not so high. Cory Sandhagen is underdog. I don't disagree with this. I mean, Peter Yan basically won that fight. I guess Aljamain Sterling, it was just a legal knee, but you got to remember now, this is a different matchup now because Cory counter fights and the counter is going backwards. And if Peter Yan come in here and go straight at him and, try to cut him off, which he usually does, he could cut off into something, a knee, the elbow, spinning back fist, just something, because Cory throw a lot of unorthodox techniques. So this is a fight where it's a risky one, and Cory is a long fighter. You got the reach and the height. You know what I'm saying? Doing a different series, a 5-round fight, and Peter Yan will put that pace on you, and Peter Yan is durable, and he will keep pushing, and break you. So, Yan being 220 something, I don't disagree, because I feel Yan most likely will win this fight, but I still be careful. All right. Glover Teixeira. Oh, Glover Teixeira is underdog. Okay, and John Volkov is 300. Disagree, man. Come on, guys. Come on with the odds. Guys, man, the odds on here are too high, man. Come on, man. Come on. This is an even fight, and the reasons for that because Glover Teixeira, the guy is relentless. He can take a hit and recover. That's basically it. He shows that he can recover. He's on a good fight winning streak. Yeah, John Błachowicz, Pat Power, but Glover Pat Power too, and both of them have BJJ black belt. They have ground game. It's an even fight, man. It can go either way. But hey, if you don't want to put Teixeira as plus 245, it's great because I have Teixeira winning. All right. So that's about it, guys. The fights that I disagree with is I disagree with the Andre and the Yu fight. That was too high. I disagree with Albert and Roman. Totally disagree with that one. I disagree with Magomed and Volkan slightly. You see these high odd fights here, guys. Just be careful. You shouldn't parlay them too much. Khamzat and Jingliang. Totally disagree with that. Odds and Khamzat is just way too high. He's not that proven yet to have him such a high favorite, especially over a very experienced guy like Jingliang. It's not like Jingliang is coming off of like 2 fight losing. The guy shows that he can still hang in there with good guys and finish them. So he shouldn't be, Khamzat shouldn't be such a high favorite. So I disagree with that one. Volkan and Tybura, I disagree. And the Błachowicz and Teixeira, totally disagree with that one, guys. All right. So that's my prediction breakdown, my odd breakdown there, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my Patreon account, like I always say. I will drop the face off on there in a couple, maybe an hour or so. And that's about it, guys. You guys keep on kicking, and one love out to everybody.